Not everyone that enters a grocery store is there to shop.
My name is George Nishikawa, and I'm an environmental health specialist with the Food and Housing Division of the County of San Diego Department of Environmental Health. Today we're doing a basic inspection of the grocery store here in La Jolla.
And just like you have your kids do at home,
The number one thing before we do anything inside a grocery store and check out their deli is I gotta make sure to wash my hands.
and the water you use to wash your hands,
And you always make sure that the hand sink is at least reaching 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is to ensure that you're washing off all the grease and all the bacteria that's growing on your hands.
now that George has clean hands, there's still one more thing he has to clean.
Always make sure that you sterilize your equipment before you're using it to temp the food.
And temp the food means checking the temperature.
The beef roast under the hot lamp, and it was cooked today, it's about 145 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well above the 135 that we need.
There's a lot of cooked food to check.
When you have hot foods, because they're already prepared and they're ready to eat, it's very important that they're kept at the right temperature. They must be kept at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or higher to prevent growth of bacteria. Every person that handles food or washes dishes or even waits tables is going to have either a certified food handler card or certified food handler test.
Once the hot food is inspected, it's on to the cleaning area.
So right now we're at the warewashing area, and we're going to make sure that the warewashing area, that the water coming out of the 3-compartment sink is going to be at 120 degrees Fahrenheit or above. And right now it's reading at about 120, which is a acceptable temperature.
It's a 3-step wash process.
You're gonna be washing your dishes over here in this first basin. You're gonna be rinsing them in a clear rinse, a hot rinse, also about 100 degrees Fahrenheit minimum. And then the third sink here, you're gonna be sanitizing them.
And George makes sure that there's enough sanitizer in the water.
So these strips are gonna turn green upon use, and I'm gonna dip them inside the water for about 10 seconds, and we'll see if it changes color. It's important to have inspectors just because it's good for a different set of eyes to see the facility every couple months.
From there, he checks the cooking area.
We're gonna make sure that number one, they have these Ansel systems here. These Ansel systems, they will eject a fire suppression liquid foam that will put out all the fire. Also, they have to have these grease filters here that will catch all the grease from going up in the ventilation system.
And if there are any type of lights in the cooking area,
You have to have these plastic horizontal lights. These are called light shields. If the light should break, we don't want anything getting inside the food.
then it's on to the refrigerators.
Another thing is you want to check inside the refrigerators. You want to make sure there's proper storage of foods. You don't have any raw meats above any like vegetables or cheeses or any other ready-to-eat foods. It doesn't look like there's any raw meats in here, so this is good. All we have here is like some ham. There's already a cooked item, so it can be stored pretty much anywhere inside the refrigerator. The most common type of violation you find in a grocery store is definitely temperatures. When you have so many refrigerators and so many cases and so much food to look at, a lot of times one case might go down, and it's difficult to always, you're not necessarily always using that refrigerator all the time. You might be just holding a particular product.
And he doesn't forget the refrigerators that store cold items out on the floor of the grocery store.
So what I'm using right now is a different type of thermometer. This is actually an infrared thermometer. This thermometer actually will check the surface temperature only of the food. It's not necessarily as accurate as our other normal thermometer, the actual probe itself. It doesn't, because it doesn't go inside the center. But it definitely gives you a good idea if the refrigerator or the unit's working or not.
One of the most important items that needs to be inspected in any grocery store.
Baby food cannot be sold after the expiration date. It's actually 100% illegal, just because if the expiration date has passed, then all the nutrients inside the food have diminished, and it won't actually nourish your baby enough. So this baby food right here actually expires in October 2011, so this baby food's good. So we'll do actually look through a good amount of baby food, even all the different kinds of formulas here, and just to make sure that expiration date is current.
All the departments get inspected, even the back warehouse.
This is good because everything's on a pallet over here, so if I want to actually get down on the ground and actually look underneath here and make sure there's no rodent activity, make sure there's no nesting going on, I don't see any droppings, which is good.
The entire process takes some time, but it's essential to make sure you and your family are safe when shopping for groceries.
Every day really is an adventure. You get to go someplace different to meet different people, see different kinds of foods, and just every day is different, and I feel that every day I can make a difference too.